Joe, great to see you. It's a great time to be part of Newcastle right now. Another big win at the weekend. What was the chat like amongst the boys at the end?
At the end of the game, it was all positive. It was really good. You can see that as a team, as a club, as a family, we're progressing, and I'm really happy to be here. I'm really happy that Newcastle's finally getting the recognition that it deserves, and long may it continue.
It's 5 wins in the last 6 now. What's clicked for Newcastle, would you say?
I don't think it's something I think it's just buy-in from all the players and the staff members. We still got a long way to go, and we're the start of something that's going to be really big. So we're just trying to push on and look to next week.
And consolidating 4th in the Premier League table. We won't get into the intricacies of it, but be honest, if you do look at the table, how nice is it to see Newcastle in the top 4?
Yeah, it is nice. It is really nice, but it's the start of the season. It's very early. I think what I take from more than our position in the table is how we're playing and how we're putting the game plan that the manager puts out for us into practice. And it's really satisfying for me as a player to look at that. We've come a really long way, and we've got a long way to go.
A big part of that has been the home form. I think it's something like 1 defeat in the last 17 or so. Why has St James's Park now become such a fortress?
Because the fans are they're amazing. I said when I made my debut for Arsenal when I was like 17 or 18, and I played in St James's Park, and it was like the fans were on top of my head. And now I get to play in Newcastle shirt and play with them behind us. It's brilliant. We never want to lose that connection with the fans, and there's like the wolf flags, and it's just amazing to actually have them behind us when we're playing, and it gives us such a boost.
I was going to say, when you kind of see those displays in particular, it's right the way around the stadium now. Gallagher, Leeds, East Stand, they're pretty much everywhere, the flags. What kind of goes through your mind as a player when you walk out at St James's Park and you see the sea of black and white and those big Tifo flags?
It's amazing. I feel like it's just, as I said before, it's a brilliant boost for us. We always want to leave our heart and soul on the pitch, but it gives it even more that we want to do it even more, for the team and for the fans, So I'm happy that they're behind us, and I'm happy that I play for this club that have brilliant support like we do.
And I know now that you have your family up here in Newcastle, how much extra does it add to the atmosphere? Might not necessarily be able to hear them, but how much extra does it add, the fact that your mum and dad are watching you now at St James's Park too?
I feel like it's a dream come true. When I was growing up at Arsenal, and obviously I got into the first team very young, and I played a lot of games, but I was sort of in and out, and it was I didn't really feel like a big part of a team. But now I'm here at Newcastle, I feel like I'm a big part of the team, and for my family to come and watch that and feel the experience, and watching us win games and compete, and I'm playing as well, so it's a dream come true for me.
I suppose another big part of the form is just how well you guys seem to get along. It seems to be a good group of good people as well as good players. How much extra has that added to the form, to the ability of this Newcastle United team, being a squad full of good people as well?
Yeah, it's amazing. It all comes from the manager, to be honest. He's a really good person. If you've ever met him or anyone meets him, they'll know from the beginning he's a really good person, and he leads the ship, into and it trickles down to all of us other players. Also the recruitment that the players that they've got in, they're all first of all really good people, and in bed with the philosophy that the club has, and it sort of shows on the pitch when things are not going so well, we bring each other up, and when things are going well, we all celebrate together. So it's sort of a connection that we're sort of growing, and we're happy that it's coming in leaps and bounds.
You talk about the recruitment there. I hear so many noises in the media where people say, well, Newcastle are only doing so well because they've recruited, they've got money to spend these days. I think they forget that, 6 out of the outfield 10 at the weekend were players that were here before the takeover. How much credit and respect do those players who have been here a while, like yourself, deserve for this turnaround for Newcastle?
I feel like people don't really see it. People always in the media, they're always gonna try and find a reason why and try and find a cop out. But I feel like it comes down to every day working hard and giving it all for the club, you know. And as you said, the 6 of us that was here before the takeover that are playing well and sort of starting as well. So I feel like we're trying to block out the media really and just push on.
It's good advice, good tactics indeed, I would have said. One of those players, Miggy Almiron, unofficially probably the happiest player in the Premier League from what I can see, definitely. How happy are you for him, and how happy are the team for him that he's now producing what you all talk about, you see on the training pitch, but on a consistent basis on a match day?
I feel like I'm so happy for Miggy because he's just a wonderful person. He's a wonderful player and he's a wonderful guy to have in the team, you know. And I'm happy that he's getting his recognition now. I feel like he's, from when I first came here, he's one of the players that I've always loved to play with. I feel like sometimes in football, these things happen. Some things have to just click, and it happens, and it's happening now for him, and hopefully it continues from now on.
And of course he's up for Player of the Month. Kieran is as well. Bruno's up for it. Eddie's up for Manager of the Month. Miggy's in there for Goal of the Month too. It's almost a Newcastle clean sweep. It should win at least one of those, right?
Yeah, I would love for some of our players to get recognition for what they've done. You know, it's brilliant month, but there's a long season to go, and I'm sure that they would hopefully get their recognition and keep grounded and keep pushing.
I promise we're going to speak about you in a second as well, not just other players. But Miggy producing, another player is producing at the minute, Callum Wilson, staying fit, getting goals, getting assists as well. How much do you feel like he should make the England squad for the World Cup?
I feel like Wilson is probably one of the best strikers in the Premier League when he's fit, you know. This season he's been amazing for us. I love having him up front in my team because he can pull goals out of nowhere. So hopefully he does get as I said before, get the recognition for his performances this season. I'm sure there's a lot of eyes on Newcastle now in terms of international status with managers coming to our games and stuff. So I'm sure he would hopefully get the call up.
So for you personally, I know how open you've been in terms of how difficult it was to settle originally in Newcastle. Now you are settled. How close are we to seeing the best Joe Willock out there, do you feel?
I feel like it's near. I feel like I'm playing well this season. I feel like if I add goals to my game, then I can definitely go to the next level. But yeah, I'm really feeling happy now, and I'm really feeling more confident than I did last year. So I'm sure that people would definitely continue seeing the best of Joe Willock.
On adding goals to your game, do you feel like you're pretty much almost there? You're getting in the right positions now. It just takes, maybe a little bit of luck or a little bit of opportunism for those goals to come.
Yeah, of course. That's football. I feel like when it comes for me, it's not going to stop coming, hopefully. So, but I feel like I've added a load of things to my game. That's maybe not getting shone light on because I'm not scoring as much goals as I did a few seasons ago. So, hopefully, when, as you said, if I get a bit of luck or something, it comes and it don't stop coming.
And in terms of settling, I know we've mentioned the family moving up here, but how much have the fans kind of helped you when you've been out and about in the city to settle as well, in terms of coming up to you and things like that?
Yeah, it's amazing. I feel like when I was living in London, the fans were a bit more aggressive and a bit more like rude, but up here it's more like a family. They come up to you and just ask you just simply for a photo and just saying that, give you some good confidence when they talk to you, and they're very nice, I feel like it's even when we wasn't doing so well in the league, they was the same. So it's brilliant to be a Newcastle player right now, and I'm really happy.
I was going to say there is obviously the London background, but how close are you to becoming an honorary Geordie these days?
I always say I'm an adopted Geordie. Yeah, I feel like I'm an adopted Geordie. Yeah.
That's spending too much time around Longian and the likes, I would have said. Listen, being able to trust and confide in the boss, like you've talked about in previous interviews, I'm sure that helps. What is it about Eddie Howe that's kind of allowed you to trust him, to confide in him, would you say?
I think he's, as I said before in my previous interviews, he's a man that's very humble, To be the manager of Newcastle, it's a massive job, and it it comes with a lot of responsibilities. So I feel like to be so humble in that position, it's amazing, and I can just take my hats off to him, to be honest. And as I said before, when someone's so humble, it makes it so much easier for a player like me just to go up and speak to him, and confide in him. And it's brilliant. I'm really happy to have such a brilliant manager managing me and the team day in, day out.
Is he almost like a kind of a, I don't want to say this because it makes him sound quite older than he is, but almost like a father figure to the players?
Yeah, he has that effect on players, He's very understanding, and he's very just simple in terms of when you speak to him. You can speak to him on a human level, you can speak to him on a football basis, you can speak to him on all different levels. So it's very easy for a player like me just to go up to him and speak to him.
There's many voices that I'm hearing that are having to eat a little bit of humble pie after he was appointed last year. There are a few saying, oh well, might not do anything with Newcastle United. Considering the job that he's done already, how far do you feel like Eddie can take this club?
I feel like he can take it as far as anywhere. No, I don't think there's a ceiling on where he can take this club. He's a brilliant manager, probably one of the best managers I've worked with. And I've worked with a load of managers, so he's probably one of the best managers I've worked with, and I feel like he can, as I said before, he can take it where there's no ceiling.
Speaking about good managers, Pep Guardiola said this past week that Newcastle are strong contenders to be in the top four at the end of the season. What does it kind of make? I know you said that you ignore the media, but when one of the world's best managers says something like that, it must be pretty nice to hear as the players.
I guess so, but I feel like there's a lot of people in the media saying stuff about us to add the extra pressure. I always see it as like a tactic to sort of add pressure in terms of putting massive expectations on us, and I feel like it's vital that we block out the media. We're trying to buy into the progress and process more than the inflated media.
The fans are pretty hopeful though, when they kind of look at things, they see Newcastle being fourth, they see best defence in the league, scoring freely as well. Can you understand the supporters when they're out and about dreaming of European qualification this season?
Yeah, 100%. I was once a supporter of a team, and I dreamt as well. There's nothing wrong with dreaming, and that's all part and parcel of being a football supporter. That's what brings them to the game. Expectation and dreaming of their team doing brilliant things, and I feel like we can do brilliant things, and we're trying to give our heart and soul into achieving goals that we've set out to do, and hopefully we can do that together as a Newcastle family.
I suppose that's looking a little bit into the future. In the short term, it's all about Southampton away this weekend. Why is this a slightly more difficult task than many people are predicting down at St Mary's?
They're a really good side. They've been a really good side for years. They have a really good manager. They have a really good way of playing football, and yeah, it's as I said before, the expectations for Newcastle United have gone from going into these games and expecting to draw or loss to we're going there to absolutely just beat them easily, and that's the expectations that people have put on us. So it's not going to be easy. They're a really good side, and we have to. If we're top of the game, I feel like we can beat anyone. But if we fall short of the levels that we set out, I don't know what's going to happen.
And just finally, two positive results against Southampton and Chelsea the week after could see Newcastle still in the top four as we head into the World Cup in Qatar. How much of a mental boost would that be ahead of what's promising to be a mini pre-season and then the second half of the Premier League after the World Cup?
Yeah, it's brilliant, I feel like that has to be our goal. That has to be our goal. We go into every game trying to win it. We go into every game on the front foot, and that has to be our goal to stay with our position. It's in our hands, so hopefully we can do that, and we look forward to the weekend, and hopefully we can get the 3 points.